thing, obviously, resource limitation obviously is universal. There is a degree of resource limitation everywhere. But for us, we need to identify what is the actual resource we have in our setup. And we have to plan our approach according to what we have. So overreach shouldn't be a case. I mean, obviously, if you have ability to manage 1.5 kilos and above, you restrict yourself to that. And sometimes we get carried away and we start putting the babies at risk. So one is identifying what you're capable of, training your staff according to what you have, and developing a network for referral and transfer. So the way we approach communication with the family as well. I mean, if we say we can manage, this is cheaper here, but still we would like to transfer you out, they may not accept because money is a factor. But if you say that we have a good center and our center isn't capable, they would be more inclined to take the baby. So first thing is identify what you have and how you want to do it. Second thing, when you are in a resource limited situation, we sometimes have to be the people who vocalize what is needed for us. So we may be an employee of a private hospital or the corporate hospitals usually don't have too much limitation except that they want you to do more. But the smaller private setups, and like in your case, your own setup, so you are going to dictate what is needed and you decide what is the limitation you want to keep. Of course, the more you spend, the more the requirement to get back from the patient and to compensate. But our aim should be to do ethical and good practice at the same time, safe practice. So, and shouldn't be a financial loss. So you have to select the group of patients which are viable to you and target them, but not restrict the quality of care you produce just because you are in a private sector. Remember that medico-legal aspects become important. In India right now, it's increasing in the cities, but in the villages, the rural areas where the resource limitation is a bigger issue, the patient's awareness is limited. And even if you want to complain, for example, the cost involved in going to a city or a district center, the court or any other body, and to pay for the lawyer and things, many parents may not want to do that. So at the moment, I think we are still relatively safe. But remember that the government is working towards making it a common ground. I mean, here, for example, if a patient wants to complain to the Department of Health, the Department of Health will take over the investigation. And similarly, the Medical Council in India may start, for the NMC now, I mean, they may take the approach that the patient has to get back to them and then they will investigate irrespective. So not having medico-legal suits for the outcomes from now doesn't mean it will be the same for the future. And we should never bank on being safe in that sense. So right from the beginning, we should try to practice as safe as possible in terms of medico-legal. Resource limitation can be justified only if you have taken reasonable efforts to correct that. So if you can show that we don't have ventilation in our setup, we have tried to buy it, you can make a business case to your bosses. And if you are the boss, you think about getting it. If you are going to keep a baby on CPAP, you should either have an ability to transfer quickly to the hospital with the ventilator or have a networking possibility. So you also document everything that happens in these discussions where a baby is not capable. So that is one point, that